You're still watching the Citi Newsroom on Citi TV. My name is Michael Obodu. We are currently at Accra Circuit Court 2, where some 5 police officers were earlier today brought to court over allegations of bribery and robbery. My colleague Sixtus Dong Ulo, who's our court correspondent, was in court, and he's going to bring us updates on proceedings. Sixtus, tell me what happened in court today.
Essentially, this was a bail application that we saw lawyers for the 5 policemen make before the court. They made the argument to the extent that if you look at the provisions of the law, both in case law and in statute, this is not a matter that the state should want to remand the policemen into custody. That they are entitled to their bail and they prayed the court to set the conditions of the bail at such a reasonable level that they would be able to meet. In relying on the law, said that, look, it is not the argument we keep hearing from prosecution in matters of this nature, that they would need the suspects to assist in investigations, and so the court should remand them. The lawyers argued that, look, there's no law or no duty on the accused person to assist the police in investigation. It is actually the duty of the police to do its own investigation. But we saw a vehement opposition, in the words of the state's prosecution led by ASP Evans Kese, a vehement opposition to this application. The argument made was that, well, the 5 policemen will not avail themselves for trial should they be granted bail. Again, we saw the defense lawyers opposing this particular argument. The argument was that if you look at all of them, they have their records with the police administration. They were recruited, they were vetted and recruited and trained by the police. And so there's not a single piece of information you would require on the 5 of them that you would not get.
In the plea for bail, did the issue of how they were arrested come up?
It did. Earlier, we were told that the police statement itself that we got yesterday told us that they had been arrested. But in court today, we were told that the people themselves, the 7 men themselves, presented themselves to the police command, and the processes triggered from there. We are also told that they voluntarily, and all of this came from the defense lawyers, that they voluntarily, returned the 20,000 Ghana cedis that they have been accused of robbing from the complainant. That they voluntarily returned this amount to the police command as part of the investigation. Again, the defense lawyers said in court that they have not been interdicted. They are still 7 men in the Ghana Police Service, and they are still on salary. And so, putting all of these together, they were indeed convinced, that the lawyers were convinced that the question of bail shouldn't have been a problem for the court to answer. But you see, bail is a discretion of the court. And so the court took the position that it is early days yet. It's too early for them to grant bail in this matter. And so the court ruled that they be remanded for 2 weeks, and bail could then be considered. The question of bail could then be considered again in subsequent hearings. But for today, it is too early. And so the bail was denied.
That was Sixtus, my colleague, our court correspondent. We cross over now to our security correspondent, Anas Seidu, who has a wrap of how this story began in the first place.